Ball control in football is something people think either comes naturally or takes thousands of hours of practice. But actually, to develop professional level ball control, you only need to do 3 things right, because the other 97% is completely unnecessary. If you keep watching, you'll see the ball control techniques even professionals get wrong and how you can easily improve them, contrary to what you might think. In the football world, people believe you're either talented like Messi or Ronaldo, or you'll never be good, while sports channels and social media reinforce this and coaches expect impossible moves from you. The truth is that ball control skill is actually like a math formula. You just need to follow the right steps in the right order. 2 weeks ago, a football coach taught me something. The secret to being good at football isn't just spending time with the ball. Then he showed me a technique used by 83% of professionals. I'll show you this technique that will boost your ball control at the end of our video, but first there are some basic principles you need to know. Many football enthusiasts do hours of complicated training to develop their skills, but scientific research shows there are only 3 steps to improving ball control, and by applying these for just 15 minutes a day, you can make incredible progress in just 1 month. So, what are these 3 steps? The first and most basic step is getting familiar with the ball. This isn't about juggling the ball with your feet like everyone says, but actually developing the feeling of touching the ball. Even the world's most talented footballers started their careers doing this. This is what Zidane was doing when he was 10 years old. But how do you do it? Even inside your home with just a football, touch the ball with different parts of your foot. The inside, outside, sole, top, they all feel different. Your goal isn't to lift the ball, but just to learn how to touch the ball from every angle. If you do this exercise for just 5 minutes a day, within a week your body will automatically start understanding how to touch the ball. This is your brain developing what's called muscle memory. It's like learning to drive. You think a lot at first, but then it becomes automatic. The second step is learning not to look at the ball. You heard that right. 92% of amateur players look at the ball, while only 14% of professionals look at the ball during a match. That's because professionals have learned to feel where the ball is. This allows them to look around and make better decisions. How can you develop this? With a very simple exercise. In your home, stand 2 meters away from a wall. Throw the ball toward the wall, and when it returns to you, stop it first with the inside of your foot, then the outside, then the sole. While doing this, you can look at the ball at first, but gradually shift your gaze away. First look at the wall, then at your ceiling, then at the upper part of the wall. The reason you're doing this is to learn to predict the speed and direction of the ball. Professional footballers know where the ball is even without seeing it. That's why Iniesta could always look around, because he knew in advance how the ball would come to him. The third step, perhaps the most important, first touch. In football, first touch is like an art form, and it's usually the biggest difference between professionals and amateurs. For example, Zidane's first touch was so perfect that he could bring down a ball from any direction exactly where he wanted it. There's another simple exercise to improve first touch. Throw the ball up in the air and control it with different parts of your body as it falls. But here's the key: not stopping the ball, but preparing it for your next move. For instance, try receiving the ball with your chest and bringing it down to your right foot before it hits the ground. Or receive it with your left knee and set it up for a shot with your right foot. If you apply these 3 steps for just 15 minutes a day, you'll see an incredible difference in your ball control within a month. But let me tell you an even simpler way. Forget about wall passing drills. That's an old school method. Instead, stand next to your bed and drop the ball from your hand, then return it to your hand with the top of your foot. Do this 100 times, then do it 100 times with the other foot. This is actually like a mental exercise. You learn to calculate the angle and speed of the ball. And the reason for doing this next to your bed is that if the ball escapes, it won't cause any damage. A perfect solution for flat dwellers. Now let's get to that technique used by professionals that I mentioned at the beginning. This technique is actually an imagery technique. That means before developing ball control physically, you need to develop it mentally. 83% of professional footballers close their eyes before a match and visualize ball control movements in their minds. How? For example, close your eyes and imagine catching the ball from the air and controlling it with the inside of your foot. Think about that moment in the finest detail. If you do this for just 5 minutes, your brain will code this movement as if you've actually done it. According to Harvard University research, this kind of mental training is 63% as effective as physical training. So instead of physically working for 10 hours, if you do 3 hours of physical and 3 hours of mental work, you'll get better results. So what happens when you combine mental and physical training? Your ball control improves rapidly because the neurons in your brain related to ball control get stronger. Just like working out your muscles, you're working out your brain. In light of this information, let me give you a simple 7-day program. Day 1, touch the ball 100 times with different parts of your foot. Inside, outside, sole, top, 100 touches with each. Day 2, wall exercise. 50 passes, but change your focus every 10 passes. For the first 10 passes, you can look at the ball. For the next 10 passes, look at the wall. For the next 10 passes, look at the ceiling. Day 3, first touch exercise. Throw the ball in the air. Receive it with your chest. Bring it down to your foot before it hits the ground. 20 repetitions. Day 4, mental training. 10 minutes with your eyes closed, imagining perfect ball control. Day 5, combine days 1 and 2. Day 6, combine days 3 and 4. Day 7, rest. Yes, rest is also part of training. But perhaps the most important thing in all of this is to tell yourself, I'm a good footballer and my ball control is great. Psychological studies show that what you tell yourself becomes reality. In the football world, many coaches will tell you, you need to practice thousands of hours to improve ball control. But that's not true. If you apply the right techniques efficiently, you can get incredible results in a much shorter time. So why aren't coaches saying this? Because most coaches were trained with old school methods. For them, improving ball control meant hours of wall passing on the pitch. But modern sports science shows us that efficiency is more important than repetition. So, your keyword should not be work hard, but work efficiently. And these 3 steps I've told you about do exactly that. Finally, let me tell you about that special technique my coach showed me. This technique is an approach that combines ball control mentally and physically. The exercise is this. First, set a target. This could be a bucket, inside a hoop, or just an area you mark on the ground. Then throw the ball in the air and control it so that it falls around the target. While doing this, before controlling the ball, visualize in your mind where it will fall. The secret of this exercise is this. Your brain first determines the target, then your body automatically makes the adjustments needed to reach that target. This develops what's called anticipation in football. If you regularly apply these 3 steps and the exercises I mentioned, your ball control will improve incredibly in just a month. Just 15 minutes a day used correctly can work wonders. Remember, in the football world, everyone tells you to work hard. But I'm telling you to work efficiently, because football is actually easy. As long as you know the right approach, the techniques I've shown you at the end of this video are suitable for football players of all ages and levels. Whether you're a 10-year-old kid or a 40-year-old playing football as a hobby, these principles work for everyone. If you like this video, subscribe and see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe to fund our next video. And let us know in the comments which football technique you'd like us to cover.